Tide for Sarah Swanson.
It's going to be white. There you go. It's light work, period.
The winner of the 2021 Heisman Memorial Trophy is
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young is Alabama's fourth Heisman winner. Roll Tide and welcome to Tide TV this week. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Kira Goldstein.
It was another huge Saturday for the Crimson Tide. Roger, last week it was the SEC Championship and a men's basketball win over number 3 Gonzaga. And this week, Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy and men's basketball defeated Houston in a thriller.
Mark Ingram won the Crimson Tide's first Heisman back in 2009. Derrick Henry joined Mark as a Heisman Trophy winner in 2015, giving the Tide 2 running backs as their first 2 Heisman winners. Last season, Devontae Smith became the first wide receiver to win the Heisman Trophy at Alabama, and this year, Bryce Young becomes the first quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy for the Crimson Tide. That is hard to believe with all the great quarterbacks that have played at Alabama. Bryce Young, the first quarterback and the 4th Alabama player to win the award. It's just the 5th time in the history of the Heisman Trophy that a school has won the award in back-to-back years.
Yeah, and as you can see, Bryce won the award in a landslide. He was named on 90% of ballots and received 83% of all possible points, which is the 7th best in history. Bryce's 684 first-place votes makes his win the 10th highest total of all time.
Bryce was clearly the voters' top choice for the award. What's also interesting that in terms of first-place votes, Will Anderson Jr. had more first-place votes than third-place finisher Kenny Pickett or the 4th-place finisher C.J. Stroud. But because of total points, Anderson didn't make the cut to go to New York as a finalist.
A big night for Bryce and the Alabama football team. Let's see the announcement once again and hear from Bryce after he won the award.
the winner of the 2021 Heisman Memorial Trophy is
Bryce Young.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I couldn't be here, and through him, all things are possible. I'd like to thank my dad, for always being there for me. From day one, you've always been by my side. You've always been a supporter, more than just a father, but a best friend to me. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. My mom, for always having my back, always supporting me. It's not always easy. I'm always running around, not all the time. You understand it, but you always have my back. You always supported me, and for that, I'm forever grateful. I'd like to thank the rest of my family also, everyone out there that supported me. I'm super grateful. I'd like to thank my teammates, my O-line for protecting me, allowing me to win an award like this. My receivers, running backs, defense for giving me the ball back. Everyone on the team for, whenever you can win an award like this, it goes as an individual award, but it's a team award because I couldn't do it without any of those guys.
As we mentioned earlier, it's just the 5th time in history that a school has won back-to-back Heismans.
Last year's winner, Devontae Smith, knew Bryce was special from the day he stepped on campus. Smith, who caught Bryce's first collegiate touchdown pass and is now a wide receiver in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, had a special message for Bryce after his Heisman victory.
Bryce, from the day you stepped foot on campus, we knew you were different. Sure, people had their doubts. Too small, too skinny. They said the same thing about me. But here you are. I remember 2020. You waited your turn. You developed. You bought into the process. Some people might have forgotten the first touchdown pass at Alabama. Little did they know, that passed from one Heisman winner to another. When the world panics and the deck is stacked against you, you just smile. When your back's against the wall, you fight your way out.
He's been so poised.
When people ask, what's Bryce Young's Heisman moment? You answer with 97 yards in 1 minute and 35 seconds.
In the corner, got it! Touchdown, Alabama!
Everyone doubts you again.
Better pull a Houdini act.
And once again, magic.
Are you kidding me?
But when everyone else doubted, we believed. So from the entire Alabama family, we just want to say thank you. and welcome to the Heisman Brotherhood.
Really powerful words from Devontae Smith. You know, it's amazing to think that Alabama didn't have a Heisman Trophy winner before 2009, and you look in the last 13 years, the Crimson Tide have had 4 in that time. Alabama's also had 6 national championships plus 8 SEC championships.
You know, they say Alabama is a championship school, Roger, but we should kind of start mentioning that Alabama is also a Heisman school. If you want to win a national championship and the Heisman, and probably in the same year, come to Alabama.
You can't argue with that, and the Heisman isn't the only award the Crimson Tide won this year. The Tide racked up several more national honors on both offense and defense. Bryce Young, of course, winning the Heisman. He was also named the Associated Press College Football Player of the Year. Young is just the second Crimson Tide player to ever receive the award. Devontae Smith won the honor last season.
During the ESPN College Football Awards, Young was honored with the Davey O'Brien Award as well. He is only the second Alabama player to ever receive the award, as the other Crimson Tide winner was Mac Jones, who won it last season. The Davey O'Brien Award is presented annually to the best college quarterback in the nation and is the oldest national quarterback award.
Bryce really racked up in the awards this year. He also won the Maxwell Award, which is presented annually to the top player in college football. Young becomes just the 5th player for the Crimson Tide to win the award, joining A.J. McCarron, Derrick Henry, Tua Tagovailoa, and Devontae Smith.
Over on defense, Will Anderson Jr. was named the 2021 Bronco Nagurski Award winner. The Nagurski Trophy is awarded annually to the top defensive player in college football. The sophomore linebacker is Alabama's second winner of the Nagurski Trophy, joining Jonathan Allen, who took home the trophy in 2016.
Crimson Tide also had several All-Americans. Alabama had 4 players that were first-team All-Americans. Will Anderson Jr. is a unanimous first-team All-American on 5 teams, while Bryce Young and Evan Neal are consensus first-team All-Americans, as they were chosen on at least 3 teams. Jamison Williams is the Tide's other first-team All-American. Williams was selected on 2.
5 players were named second-team All-Americans. Phil Mathis and Jordan Battle were named to the AFCA All-America second team, and Battle was also named to the Associated Press third team. Evan Neal, Jamison Williams, and Bryce Young were also named second-team All-Americans, and Dallas Turner was named a freshman All-American. Whew.
A lot of awards for the Crimson Tide, and they're all very much deserved.
Let's now take a look at our Crimson Tide and the NFL Players of the Week, a segment that we're going to do a little differently this week. The NFL teams released their nominees for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, and 4 Crimson Tide players were selected, so we chose those NFL players as our NFL Players of the Week. The Washington football team nominated defensive lineman Jonathan Allen, who was once in foster care during his childhood. He works with the Sasha Bruce Youth Works organization in Washington, D.C. The nonprofit organization assists children in finding safe homes and helps them with career opportunities.
Offensive lineman Bradley Bozeman was nominated by the Baltimore Ravens. Bozeman and his wife Nikki, who is a former women's basketball player here at Alabama, started a foundation to help end childhood bullying and distribute meals to those in need.
Running back Derrick Henry was nominated by the Tennessee Titans for his charity work. Henry has numerous causes that he is passionate about, including making a $10,000 donation to Jeremy Taylor from his 2 All Foundation. Taylor is a Nashville firefighter who, along with his family, lost their home and all their belongings in a fire. Henry also passed out free bicycles and school supplies to children at a back-to-school event in his hometown of Yulee, Florida.
And the New York Jets nominated defensive lineman Quinnen Williams. Through his foundation, Williams is donating $25,000 amongst 100 single-parent households in the Birmingham area. Williams also sponsors a grant to provide financial aid to low-income minority families. Williams also serves as an ambassador for the American Cancer Society. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award recognizes an NFL player for outstanding community service activities off the field as well as excellence on the field. Alabama has had 3 winners of the award. The first belonged to Bart Starr, who won the award in 1969 when it was formally named the Gladiator Award. Then Dwight Stevenson won in 1985, with Derek Thomas becoming the 3rd recipient in 1993.
A big congratulations to all 4 of Alabama's Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominees. It's been a big couple of weeks across the board, but especially for the Alabama men's basketball team. Don't go anywhere, because when we return, we'll take you inside the Tide's big win over 14th-ranked Houston with Jaden Shackelford. That and much more when we return.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes.
The buzzer sounds, and Bama hangs on. Oh my goodness!
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. What a couple of weeks it's been for the Alabama men's basketball team. A win over number 3 Gonzaga in Seattle, and then this past Saturday, Crimson Tide won a thriller at the buzzer over 14th-ranked Houston.
As you can see behind me, with the wins over 3rd-ranked Gonzaga and 14 Houston, Alabama climbed to number 6 in the Associated Press Top 25 and number 8 in the Coaches Poll.
Let's take an inside look at the Tide's win over Houston and also get to know a little more about Jaden Shackelford in our latest episode of Max Effort.
Jaden Shackelford. Oh, first half three for the Crimson Tide. What?
Basketball means the world to me. You know, I guess you could say it saved my life. It's still saving my life.
And that'll do it in Alabama. Knocks off number 3 Gonzaga.
It can take me wherever I want to go with this. So hard work has gotten me to where I am today. You know, without basketball, I wouldn't know what I'd be doing right now. So, you know, it's just, I cherish it. You know, my passion is unmatched. So basketball, it's my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough game. They're one of the hardest playing teams in the country every year. You know, this is a premier game. They played in the Final Four last year.
A Sweet 16 team last year, a Final Four team in Houston. There's no reason to think both won't be back again.
Yeah, Ravi, a lot of impactful games across college basketball today. None bigger than this, though.
We had it! We had it! Man, all they keep talking about is going to be a dog fight. We good with that. Hit, and hit some more. Every time you get opportunity to send a message. Let's go, man. Alabama in the home whites, and Houston travels in the blacks, and it's controlled by the Cougars.
Nolan pass inside Bediako the flush.
Quick pass down low, and a really good look for Charles Bediako, the freshman out of Canada.
Angry Chutka showed up early here in T-Town.
Jawan Gary buries it from the corner.
Quitterly with the break. Down the lane. Left-handed layup is good. Is it uncounted? Andy's foul.
That ball knocked right into Gary's hand, and he picks it up on the baseline.
I don't want to fail, you know. There's so much that I want to succeed that I haven't gotten close to yet, but, you know, I set goals for myself, you know, I write them down, so I just work hard to attain those. It's something that I've done since I was in middle school. Wanting to be better every day, wanting to be great, wanting to, you know, make my family proud. It all pushes me to, you know, just want to work hard. And it's like it's all going to be worth it, because there's times where coming up where I question things, or where I was like, is it really going to pay off, this and that? I mean, it's all stuff that eventually, like, paid off, and after time I realized it, but I feel like going back and telling myself that then it would have made it easier for me, made me more understanding of why my parents are doing certain things, why I can't go here, why I can't do this, but I mean, it all paid off and it made sense in the end.
Well, Shackelford wide open, needs that, and he buries it. Tough shot. Buries it. Wow, that is huge.
Throws it down low. No, great pass, great catch, great finish.
Davison gets it.
Ravi, that's really tough.
Shackelford knocks in a three, and he gets knocked to the ground.
12, JQ for the lead. No, JD! Oh, goodness! Elevated, threw it home. Good, tip, no, it's over, it's over.
Tipped up, no good, out of bounds. Alabama will defend the home court.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes.
The buzzer sounds, and Bama hangs on. Oh, my goodness!
They're headed to the Women's College World Series.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide are your SEC champions for the
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Kira Goldstein. This Wednesday was the National Signing Day early period for football.
For a complete recap of the Crimson Tide's class, our Christopher England joins us now.
Alabama added 22 to their 2022 recruiting class on Wednesday. The 22 signees are from 10 different states, with 7 from the state of Alabama. 17 were ranked in the ESPN 300, with 12 listed on the Rivals 100. 11 of the players are on offense, with 10 on defense, and 1 athlete. Of the 22 signees, 4 or 5 stars, with 18 4 stars. On offense, the Tide signed 3 offensive linemen. 5-star Tyler Booker from IMG Academy is ranked as the number 7 player overall in the ESPN 300. Alabama also signed a couple of 4-star signees from the state of Georgia in Elijah Pritchett and Dane Shore. The Tide signed 4 wide receivers, all of them 4-star prospects. Aaron Anderson hails from the state of Louisiana. A track star in high school, Anderson is the 8th-ranked wide receiver in the country. Isaiah Bond, a unanimous 4-star prospect, is the 8th-ranked player from the state of Georgia. And Kobe Prentice from Calera is the number 4-ranked player in the state of Alabama, while Shaz Preston is one of 2 players signed from the state of Louisiana. He's the 5th-ranked wideout in the nation. 4-star Amari Nyblack is a 2-sport athlete in basketball and football from Clearwater, Florida, who can play wideout or tight end. Coach Saban also added a tight end in Elijah Brown from Dayton, Ohio. He's the 8th-ranked tight end in the nation by ESPN.com. Brown will help block for running backs Emmanuel Henderson and Jamarian Miller. Henderson is a 5-star prospect and the number 1 running back in the nation from Hartford, Alabama. Miller is a 4-star back from Tyler, Texas that rushed for almost 5,000 yards in his high school career. The Tide signed just 1 quarterback, but he's a good one. Ty Simpson is the 3rd-rated passer in the country and the number 2 overall player from the state of Tennessee. Of the 10 defensive players Alabama signed, 3 were on the defensive line. Isaiah Hastings from Toronto, Canada is Alabama's international signee. Playing for Clearwater Academy International in Florida, Hastings is ranked as the 22nd defensive lineman in the country. Jaheim Otis is one of Alabama's 4 5-stars. Otis is the top-ranked player in the state of Mississippi and the 10th-ranked defensive lineman in the country. Rounding out the Tide's D-line group is Curtis Perry, an in-state lineman from Pike Road. Perry is the number 3-ranked player in the state of Alabama and the 8th-ranked defensive lineman nationally. The Tide added a trio of linebackers. The top-rated player from the state of Alabama, Jeremiah Alexander from Thompson High School, leads the list. One of the best edge rushers in the nation, Alexander is a 5-star prospect and the number 1 ranked weak side defensive end in the nation. Jihad Campbell is an elite outside linebacker from IMG Academy. Campbell is a 4-star recruit and the number 4 overall player in the state of Florida. The top-ranked inside linebacker in the nation chose the Tide. Sean Murphy is a 4-star linebacker and the number 2 player in the state of Virginia. Coach Saban finished up the Tide's 2022 class on Wednesday with 4 defensive backs. Alabama signed their 2nd player from Thompson High School in 4-star Traquan Fegans. Fegans is the 9th-ranked corner in the nation and ranked 64th on the ESPN 300. Antonio Kite from Anniston is ESPN's 5th-best athlete and the number 5 player from the state of Alabama. Earl Little Jr. is one of the top defensive backs in the country. Little is a unanimous 4-star and the 12th-ranked corner in the nation. Last but not least, Jake Pope chose Alabama rather than staying home to play in his home state of Georgia. A 4-star from Buford, Pope is ESPN's 26th-ranked safety. Alabama finished signing day with the number 1 overall class by Rivals. It marks the 2nd year in a row the Crimson Tide has finished with the number 1 signing class. Stay with us. We'll have more Tide TV This Week coming up next.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber
to the bench.
Taylor shot.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes.
The buzzer sounds in Bama end zone. Oh my goodness!
We don't might be a football score or a basketball score. We just won championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
Welcome back. The Alabama women's basketball team held its annual 5th grade fast break game this past Monday in Coleman Coliseum as the Tide hosted Sam Houston.
Alabama led by just 1 point after the first period, but a big 27-9 second quarter, but the Crimson Tide up 42-23 at the half. Crimson Tide continued their strong play in the third, outscoring the Bearcats 26-12 as the Crimson Tide would roll over Sam Houston 84-50 for their 7th consecutive win. The win was also the 800th in program history for Alabama.
Yes, that 800th win in program history improved the Tide's record to 9-2 on the year. Alabama returns to action on Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock here in Tuscaloosa as the Tide hosts Winthrop.
Alabama swimming and diving team has 5 athletes slated to compete internationally this month at the 2021 FINA World Championships and the World Junior Diving Championships.
For more on that, our Sierra Lynn joins us now. Sierra?
Olympic silver medalist Ryan White, Kalia Antoniou, and Diana Petkova from the women's team and Kayak Alves for the men's team will compete in various events at the World Championships, while assistant coach Ozzy Quevedo will join them as an assistant coach for Team USA. Meanwhile, diver Mohamed Farouk just wrapped up competing in the World Junior Diving Championships.
We have a group that competed in Tokyo, and they came in this fall and they're ready to go for the college season. We had some great dual meets. We had a great Tennessee invite just a couple weeks ago, and now they're getting ready for Worlds. And I think they got a lot of confidence going in, and hopefully, coming out, they're going to be able to get in a good spot and be ready for that championship season as well.
I think the most important thing is going to be for them the experience to what it's like to be at a world stage. We're certainly going out there with high expectations, finding ways for them to have second swims, whether it's in the shape or form of a semifinal or even in the final event, the top 8 in the world.
I think more than anything, I know that competing on the world stage is something that is just a great opportunity to go against the best in our sport. I hope when this crew comes back, I think it'll bring some really good energy to help us really boost us into the next phase of our season. So I'm most excited for that part.
The FINA World Championships will take place from December 16th through the 21st in Abu Dhabi. Stay with us. We'll have more Tide TV this week coming up next.
They're headed to the Women's College World Series.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide are your SEC champions for the 6th time with a record-breaking run at the Rhodes House. And a perfect present for Montana Fouts and Alabama at the Women's College World Series.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes.
The buzzer sounds in Bama Victor! Oh my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or a basketball score. We just won championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
JQ right side, working away from a double team, gives it off to Shaq. 3, count it, and he's fouled! Oh, mercy! Shaq, a chance for a 4-point play! 15, now it's down to 12. JQ for the lead. No, JD! Oh, goodness! It elevated, threw it home, and Bama's up with 30 seconds to go. 83, 82. 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot. They throw up a prayer. No good. Tip, no. Tip, no. It's over. It's over. And Alabama has won it. 83-82, the final score. Alabama gets the win.
The winner of the 2021 Heisman Memorial Trophy is
Bryce Young.
Those great plays and those great moments are ATI Plays of the Week. Now let's take a look at our Players of the Week, brought to you by Legacy of Hope.
First up, we have Bryce Young. I mean, how can you not be Player of the Week when you win the Heisman Trophy? Bryce Young became the first Crimson Tide quarterback to ever win the award and the 4th Crimson Tide recipient.
Javon Quinterly played a major role in the Crimson Tide's 83-82 win over Houston, the team that made it to last year's Final Four. Quinterly added 17 points and looked a little like Bryce Young as he dished out 8 assists in the Crimson Tide win.
And J.D. Davison almost had his second double-double of the year as he finished with 10 points and 9 rebounds. But it was his play in the final minute of the game that helped preserve the win for the Crimson Tide. Trailing by 1, Davison's putback dunk with just 25 seconds put Alabama back on top 83-82. Davison then had a huge block as time expired to keep Houston from scoring, giving Alabama the 83-82 win over 14th ranked Houston.
Those are our Legacy of Hope Players of the Week. We hope you'll tune in next week as we bring you more content on the Crimson Tide and the all-access content of Alabama you can't get anywhere else. See you next week, everybody. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,